Once again, good to see you all. In today's sessions, we are going to see about tokens, constants, and data types in C programming language. In this slide, we are going to see about character set of C. First, let us see what is character. Character denotes any alphabet, digit, or special symbol used to represent informations. The use of character is it can be combined to form variables. C uses constants, variables, operators, keywords, and expression as building blocks to form a basic C program. Now, what is character set? Character set is the fundamental raw material of any language and they are used to represent informations. There are 4 types of character sets available in C programming language. They are letters, digits, special characters, and white spaces. The combinations of letters and digits will be called as an alphanumeric. Now with this we shall move on to the next stage where we should discuss C tokens. Tokens are the smallest elements of a program which are meaningful to the compiler. The C tokens available in C programming language are keywords, constant, strings, operators, special characters, and identifiers. Now we shall discuss about each one of them in detail. Firstly, keywords. Keywords are defined those variables which have special meaning and are predefined in the C libraries. So this was a definition of keywords. So keywords are something which are predefined in C library which you cannot rename or you cannot reprogram. The following list shows the reserved words in C programming language. These reserved words may not be used as constant or variables or any other identifier names. For example, if we using the loops like do, while loop, for loop, then the methods and the functionality of those particular keywords are predefined in C. You cannot access them or you cannot redefine them or we cannot reprogram them. So this is the meaning of keywords. Some of the basic examples for keywords are for, if else, main, void, etc. Finally, the keyword is nothing but the word which we cannot either access, cannot change the functionality and we cannot reprogram them. So these are all predefined and loaded into C libraries. Followed by this, we shall discuss about the identifiers. Identifier is nothing but the name you declared for your variables and values, functions, arrays, etc. which you are using in your program. It's like naming a person. For example, if you want to talk to a person, then you call him by his name. So in the same way, if you want to access the particular memory location of value or an array or what about the functions you are using in your program, you call it with the name which is its identifier. For understanding this, let us consider a simple example which is int x is equal to 10. Here int is the data type which are specifying for your identifier and x is the variable name which will be storing the value 10. Followed by this, we shall also understand some basic rules for declaring identifiers. Some of the basic and important rules used for declaring identifier is first, the identifier must begin with alphabets or underscore. Only alphabets, numbers, underscore can be used, no other special characters. Identifiers must not contain white space and keyword should not be used as an identifier. Identifier should be up to 31 characters long. And C is a case sensitive language. For example, the letter we have used manpower and manpower are the two different identifiers in C language. Let us see the examples to understand these rules. The example listed in this slide are valid identifiers which are declared using the rules declared for identifiers in C programming language. Here we have also listed a few examples for invalid identifiers. Here we have given three examples. The first example is A space BC. So this is an identifier. It contains space inside the variable. So it will be considered as an invalid. The next example is long. So long is a keyword used in C programming language, as we already told that keyword cannot be used as an identifier. So this will also consider as an invalid identifiers. So the third example is 123 my name. So as we said that the identifier, the first letter must be of an alphabet, but here it starts with an numbers. So this is also considered as an invalid identifiers. Next are strings. The definition of string is defined as follows. Strings are defined as a collection of characters defined in form of an array and end with null character, which describe the end of the string to the compiler. Strings are nothing but character type array in strings. Now we should learn the syntax. For declaring a string in C language, the syntax is first, we need to begin with the data type, which is char. Followed by that, we have to specify the string name, and at the end, we have to specify the length we are using for our string. So this will be fixed, and this will not be buried in the runtime followed by the strings. Now shall discuss about constants. In C programming language, a name given to the variable whose values cannot be changed. Such variable is known as constants. They are also called as literals in C programming language, as they are similar to variables, but with one condition, of which values of these variable cannot be altered, or the values are fixed for such variables. Let's understand this in detail. Variables are those, once after you declare them, you can either change their values or you can also perform operations on them. But if you declare the same variables within the keyword constant in front of them, then you cannot change them. You cannot change the value which is stored in the variable declared as constant. The syntax for declaring constant type variables are constant followed by data type, and after that the variable name, or you can also declare a pointer type. The next one is types of constant available in C programming language. There are different basic types of constants provided by C. They are categorized into two major categories, that are primary constant and secondary constant. In primary constant, we have integer constant, real constant, and character constant, etc. In secondary constants, we have array, pointer, structure, union, enumerator, etc. In these sessions, we are going to see more detail about integer constant, floating or real constant, character constants, string constant, and enumeration constant. As the name itself suggests, an integer constant is an integer with a fixed value. That is, it cannot have fractional value like 10.8, 20.19. We can further classify this integer constant into three types, namely decimal integer constant, octal integer constant, hexadecimal integer constant. Next one is real constant. The numbers containing fractional parts are called real or floating point constant. The floating point constants can be represented in two forms. One is an fractional form and another one is an exponent form. And whatever form it is, it may have either plus or minus sign presiding it. So in this slide we have given example for fractional form and as well as for an exponent form. The general format in which a real number may be represented in scientific form is mantissa e exponent. Here, mantissa and exponent must contain an integer value, and the letter e separating the mantissa and the exponent can also be written in uppercase letter or lowercase letters. Okay, so here also we have given you an example for real constant which is represented in the scientific form. Next to character constant. A character constant contains one single character enclosed within a single quotes. It should be noted that the character 8 is not the same as number 8, because character constant have a specific set of integer value which is known as ASCII values. So ASCII is nothing but American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So if a single character is denoted within a single quotes, will be called as a character constant. C allow us to have certain non-graphic character in characters constant. Non-graphic characters are those characters that cannot be typed directly from keyboard. For example, tabs, carriage return, etc. These non-graphic characters can be represented by using escape sequence. Next stage we shall discuss about data types. Whenever a variable is defined in C, it has to be associated with a certain data type. Data type represents the type of information present in a variables. Data types are the keywords which are used for assigning a type to a variable. This gives an indication about the amount of memory to be allocated to that variable, and each variable will hold its own unique memory location, except for some cases where the variables point to the same memory location only. C programming has categorized the data types into basic data types, derived data types, enumeration data types, and void data types. Basic data types, which is also called as primary data type, is predefined by the programming language and is named by the reserved keyword. So under primary data types, we have 4 data types. So first one is an character, which is used to denote a character type. Second one is an integer, which is used to denote an integer type. Third one is an float, which is used to denote the floating values. And fourth one is an void. As the name suggests, it holds no value and is generally used for specifying the type of functions or what it returns. If the function has void type, it means that the functions will not return any values. So for denoting a character, we will be using a keyword called char. For denoting an integer, we will be using a keyword int. Denoting a float, we will use a keyword float or double. Now we shall discuss about each data type in detailed manner. The first one is an integer data type. Integer data type allows a variable to store numeric values. In order to refer integer data type, we will use int as a keyword. Next one is an storage size. So the storage size of int data types takes 2 byte or 4 byte or 8 byte. So now this byte it will get vary depends upon the processor using in the CPU. For example, if you are using a 16-bit processor, then it takes 2 byte to store integer data type value. Suppose if you are using 32-bit processor, then it takes 4 byte to store integer data values. Suppose if you are using a 64-bit processor, then it takes 8 byte to store an integer data values. So it varies depends upon the processor which we are using it. Okay. The point to be noted is we cannot store decimal values using integer data type. If we use integer data types to store decimal values will be truncated and we will get only the whole number. In this case, float data type can be used to store decimal values in the variables. The next data type is a floating point data type. The floating point data type consists of two types. They are float and double. So float data type allows a variable to store decimal values. The storage size for float data type is it takes 4 bytes. This also varies, depends upon the processor in the CPU, as we have seen in the integer data type. And here if we declare a variable as float data type, then we can have 6 digits after the decimal point. For example, 10.456789. So after decimal point we can able to have 6 digits if we declare a variable comes under the float data type. Suppose if there is in situations like if you need more than 6 digits after the decimal point, then you have to declare the same variable using the data type called double. So double data type is also a same as float data type, which allows up to 10 digits after a decimal point. So this is the difference between the variable if you declared as float and if you declared as a double. Followed by floating, the next data type is a character data type. Character data type allows a variable to store only one character. So the storage size of character data type is 1. So we can store only one character using character data type. So in order to use character data type, we have to use a keyword called char. For example, so here A, which is enclosed within a single quotes, can be stored using a character data type. So under character data type, we cannot able to store more than one character. In this slide, we are going to discuss about modifiers in C language. In C programming language, there are 5 modifiers are available. They are short, long, signed, unsigned, long. So these are all the modifiers which is help us to allocate the amount of memory space for each data type. So modifiers are prefixed with basic data types to modify the amount of storage space allocated to a variable. For example, if you are storing a value comes under the integer data type, normally if it is a 32-bit processor, then it takes 4 bytes to store integer data type values. Suppose if you want to increase the size of integer data type value, then you have to use a keyword called long, which is act as a modifier. So you have to use like long int. Then automatically it takes 8 byte instead of 4 byte. Suppose if you want to decrease the range of data type values, instead of using a long, here we can make use of a short keyword. That is, if you denote short int, then it takes to store the value, it takes 2 bytes instead of taking in 4 bytes. So like this, in order to use enumeration data type in our program, we need to follow 2 ways to define the variables of enumerated data type as given below. So first thing is we have to declare an enumerated data types with its values, and second one is we have to create an object for the declarations, and using that object we can able to access the values which is declared under the enumerated data type. So that will be seen in the next slide. Below table gives the detail about the storage size of each C basic data type in 16-bit processor. Please keep it in mind that storage size and range for int and float data type will vary depends on the CPU processor. In this slide, we are going to see about derived data types. A derived data type is formed by using one or more basic types in combination. So they are the object types whose functionalities are predefined in the C libraries. So under derived data types, so there are arrays, references and pointers. So arrays is nothing but it is a collections of similar elements that is used to store under the same variable. In simply we can say that arrays is nothing but it is a collections of elements that is stored under the one variables. It's act as an one-dimensional matrix. C allows the feature called type definition, which allows programmers to define their identifier that would represent an existing data type. So there are three such user-defined data types. So they are structure, union and enumerators. So these data types we will be seeing detail when we are talking about the topic called structures and union. But we will look after the data type called enumerator in the next slide. The next data type is an enumeration data types. Enumeration is an user-defined data types in C language. It is used to assign names to the integral constants, which makes a program easy to read and maintain. So the keyword is used to declare an enumeration data type is enum, E-N-U-M. So here we have given the syntax for enumerated data types. So first ENUM is a keyword followed by keyword. So you can specify the data type's variable name, and followed by that we can given the constant values within a flower brackets ends with a semicolon. Okay. So here we can also given two examples the way how you can define the variables for an enumeration data type. In order to use enumeration data type in our program, we need to follow two ways to define the variables of enumerated data type as given below. So first thing is we have to declare an enumerated data types with its values, and second one is we have to create an object for the declarations, and using that object we can able to access the values which is declared under the enumerated data type. So that will be seen in the next slide. So in this slide, this pictorial representations explains the enumeration data types in detail. The first section has been given as an enumerated data type declaration. So here we have declared the enumerated data types in the variable name called days of week with the values Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and these Sunday to Friday will be called as a list of constant which is separated by comma, stored under the variable called days of week. Okay, the second section is how we are creating an object for the variable days of week. So here enum is a keyword, days of week is comes under the enumerated variable, and days, so you need to leave a space and then you have to use another variable called day. Now here the day is going to be act as an object for the variable days of week. So in future inside the program, if you want to access the constant values, that is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which is stored under the days of week, will be accessed through a variable called day in your program. So this is how you can use enumerated data type in your program. So in order to use enumerated data type in your program, first you need to declare the data type. Second, you have to create an object for the declaration. And third, using the object, you can able to access the constant values which is stored under the enumerated variable. Okay. So in this slide, we have narrated the enumerated data types using an example. So here we have given an example program to demonstrate working of enumerated using for weekdays. Okay. So first we have written a header file hash include stdio.h. Then followed by that we have declared an enumerated variable in the name called week. So here week is an enumerated variable which consists of an constant value called Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Okay. And followed by that we are declaring an main functions, and within the main functions again the first statement we have used enum week day. So here enum is a keyword, week is an enumerated variable, and day is an object which we have created for the enumerated variable called week. Okay, so now suppose if you want to access the value which is stored under the variable called week, you have to make use of day in your program. Okay, so here the next statement we have written as day equal to Wednesday. It means that the value Wednesday will be stored under the variable called day. And now again we are using printf statement to display what is there in the day variables. So finally we are terminating the program using an statement called return of 0 and finally close it. So what will be the output means you will get an output as 2. So how we will get an output as 2 means first we have already told that enumeration is an user-defined data types, and it is mainly used to assign names to integral constants. It means that so whatever names we have stored under the enumerated data type, by default it will assign some integer values. So likewise in our program, so integer values like for Monday inbuilt it will assign integer value is 0. So for Tuesday it will assign it is an 1. For Wednesday it will assign as a 2. So now when we are trying to access what is there in Wednesday, so here it displays 2 as an output. Okay. Thank you, students.